What is up, everyone? Good morning. Welcome to New York. We are RCJC, and we are here to talk to y'all about the expenditure cycle. So, just to recap our organization and the people in it, I am the CEO, Ryan Hearing.
I'm the CFO, Catherine Preston.
I am the COO, Joy Abby Mansour.
And I am the lead sales associate of our store here in Manhattan, Caleb Newcomb. Thank you very much for introducing yourselves, staff. So the first step in the expenditure cycle is ordering. So for small item purchases, we just have a petty cash fund. The cap for that is $750, and we set it up as an impress fund, which means that all cash plus receipts for previous payments must equal $750 at all times. And we believe that this will improve efficiency for purchases of supplies or other small items. But it must be approved by the cashier. So as far as when we determine the need to purchase, Caleb will go and check inventory levels in our inventory warehouse, and when they're low at our reorder point, he will go in and he will initiate a purchase requisition. That purchase requisition will then be sent to Joy, our COO, where she will authorize that. But as far as our purchase requisition, we will have on there the requisitioner, we'll have the delivery, location, time, the date, the description of the product that we want, prices, quality, and suggested vendors. So this is a picture of our purchase requisition and all the material that will be contained on it. And then Joy, once she authorizes that purchase requisition, she's going to create a purchase order. And this is going to include some of the same material, such as the item, the quantity, and the price of the products that we want. And then that is going to be sent to several different departments. That will be sent to our inventory department. That will be sent to our supplier. That will be sent to accounts payable so that they can review that once the order and the invoice comes in. Sent to accounts payable.
It was
the receiving department. And that will later be authorized by Catherine so as to make sure that we have segregation of duties.
Thank you, Ryan. To reintroduce myself, my name is Joy and I am the COO. So right now I'm going to talk about how we select our vendors. So our vendors will be selected by the purchasing department based upon the following criteria. So we'll be looking at the price of their products, the quality of their materials, the timeliness of their shipments, and the level of communication that we can continue with the purchasing department. For the retention of our vendors, we're going to have to look at a vendor list that will be reviewed every 3 months. Customer reviews will be considered as well. And if criteria is not met, then new candidates will have to be reviewed. And based on this criteria, we will evaluate the vendors on a scale from 1 to 10. So this is how the second step in the expenditure cycle will be for receiving. Caleb will pull cartons off of the freight line and scan inventory to be recorded into the system. He will also count the inventory and will make sure this is verified with a packaging slip. Then the receiving report will be created and I will authorize all inventory receipts. So this is an example of what our receiving report will look like. We'll have 4 copies of this and that will be given to the receiving department, our accounts payable department, inventory control, and also a copy for the vendor. Now I'm going to hand off to Caleb Newcomb, our great sales associate.
Well, thank you, Joy. And as Joy mentioned, my name is Caleb, and I'm going to be talking with you all about how we approve our supplier invoices. Now, what happens here is we're going to save the invoice on file in our system, and we're going to verify the amounts listed, including the prices. We're going to use the voucher package, which, as everyone knows, is composed of the receiving report, the purchase order, and the invoice. What's going to happen basically here, the inventory department is going to receive the inventory, and then accounts payable is updated. As you can see here, we're finally going to credit AP after the accounts payable department has reviewed that invoice, and Catherine is the one who receives all invoices. Moving on to cash disbursements here, the cashier who reports to Catherine, our CFO, is responsible for paying suppliers. The cashier is going to also write these checks, and after he or she writes them, going to file them away, and the invoice is then verified with the check amount. Joy, in order to keep good internal controls, has to verify the check and match it with the invoice. Here we have what a sample payment to a vendor would look like. As we went over earlier, we saw a purchase order for $3,750, and now we're going to finally make that disbursement to the vendor, and this would be a good example of what that's going to look like. Next, I'm going to hand it off to Catherine, our lovely CFO, who's going to take us home and finish us out here.
Thank you, Caleb. So now I'm going to talk about a time card, which is a daily way to see how many hours an employee has worked. It's different from a timesheet, but they are reconciled and reviewed and authorized by Joy. This is a request to add new employees. So the new employee would fill out their name, their position, their date of birth, social security number, and all this information, and then their supervisor would sign and date it. And then this is a pay stub to an employee, which the cashier or receptionist would distribute. And we require all of our employees at RCJC to have direct deposit. So thank you all for listening.
We hope you enjoyed,
our
discussion
presentation.
of
Thank you.